y'all, give me just a minute. Let me get this poop scooped up and I'll sit and chat with you. So welcome. Come on in the run. Log Home Mom here. Goodness. Anna, you're so noisy. I'll tell you what, Rosie almost flew up to the run at the roof up here to get her goodies. All right, you're a heavy girl. All right, let me sit my tushy down. Y'all, it is almost 90 degrees. Yes, I'm in pants. I didn't realize how hot it was until I got out here. The weather thing says 83, feels like 86, but my thing says it's almost 90. You know, the weather only does the towers close by. Hang on, I'm getting sand off. Ellie's over yonder. Well, look at all y'all. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Hudson. Hey, Erica. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Misty. Hey, Denise. Hey, Amy. Hey, Brian. Hey, Diane. Hey, Joel. Hey, Jane. Hey, Pam. Hey, Ann. Hey, Greer. Hey, y'all. So let me explain a little bit. Log Home Dad did leave me for about 36 hours. He had to go pick up some equipment in Virginia. And so he drove all the way through to Virginia. Already spending money on the equipment, so he didn't want to get a hotel room. So he slept, plus he had his truck and his big trailer. He didn't want to spend money on a hotel. So he slept in the truck, and it was 26 degrees. So he didn't get much sleep. And then he got there about 11, got up early the next morning. He had about another hour drive where he needed to go, and then came back, and that night he got back by about 9. So I missed him. So he did leave me. I know that was kind of clickbait, but that's the only way I can get y'all on here. But I do need your help. Y'all, I'm telling you, I've only had about 60 people go and like our YouTube. I've got to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm dropping the link right now. I've got to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you just take a minute out of your day, please, and just go over and subscribe and hit the bell. It doesn't cost you a dime. I'm about ready to do some kind of contest or something, but I've got to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I don't even know what to do. I can't. YouTube is so dang stingy that, so I can go live. I need another platform and I can go live over there. But it doesn't save them. So if I go live and y'all aren't on, if you're not subscribed and you don't get notification and you're not on when I'm live, you can't watch it later until I get to 1,000 subscribers. So I really need y'all to do that for me. Please, 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 please. Please. Miss Isabel, why you got poopy butt? She got a little poopy butt. I got to clean her bottom off. Hey, baby. So, now I'm down to 14. Y'all mad at me now. Y'all was hoping, see, y'all were hoping Log Home Dad really did leave me for good. Ellie Belly, get over here. That's so sad. Why would y'all hope that? Gosh. Don't y'all want to see a loving married couple? Goodness, we are so wrapped up in people being torn apart. Makes us feel better about ourselves. Isn't that something? I need to sit down with y'all and tell you my life stories on Log Home Mom. If y'all have never read my story, at least some of my story, go to my blog, loghomemom.com. And I think it says about Log Home Mom. There's a blog post. Just scroll down a little bit. And it's a story about me and my childhood. So if you've never read my story, go read it. It even makes me cry sometimes. Ellie Belly! Hi, baby! Look how big she's getting, y'all. So we might have more exciting news coming to the homestead, too. I got my 4 chickens. I got my 4 chickens. They're down in my basement, which is a finished basement. It's not like it's a basement. It's a room, but it's just a basement. It has no windows. My 4 babies are down there, and we should be bringing them out to Little Coop probably today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see, because we ain't gonna be home a little bit tomorrow. We got our funeral to go to of our friend that had a stroke, and she was doing so good, y'all. I know y'all, if you've been following me anytime, you've seen her on here, Miss Shirley McCrewman, and she had a stroke, wasn't found for a little bit. Ellie, that will sting you, girl. That'll get stingers in your nose. She had a stroke, was home for a little bit, was left alone, even though she looked funny when the person left, and came back. She was unresponsive, called the ambulance, of course, and now she had a stroke a few years back too, and which caused her to have lifelong kidney dialysis, and she had to go in like 3 times a week for dialysis. So she had a stroke. The paramedics get there, take her to a hospital, and when she gets there, they come back and say that she's COVID positive. Now, do we all know if she really was or not? No, we do not. So they put her on a COVID ward and never retested her that we know of. Like, I asked her, because I went in and visited her about 2 days after she had her stroke, maybe 3. And she's on a COVID ward, so when she doesn't have to wear anything, no mask, no nothing special. But when I went in, I had to wear a gown, gloves, mask, an N95 mask. My God, that's like a torture device. And a shield, face shield. So go in, she's sitting talking. We had a great visit. I took a selfie with her, even though I had all my crap on. She told me I better take good care of Log Home Dad. And I hugged her, and she kissed me, held her a little bit, and left. And 2 days later, they said her oxygen levels were too dangerously low, and they had to put her back on a vent. And she fought them for a day, and they finally put her on a vent. And I went and saw her about a week and a half ago. And of course she couldn't talk because that dang vent, which is like a medieval torture device. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody on a vent, but it is so, excuse you, Rosie, it's so dehumanizing. It's, I didn't even take a picture of her because it's so sad. They got the vent in their mouth, so your mouth is completely wide open with your bottom teeth showing, and they've got these paddles on the side of your face with I guess a band going around the back of your neck, and then bands attached to the vent, and then they have a dang what's it called? Zip tied from the bands to the vent, and it's just awful. So she couldn't talk when I went in there, but she was awake. She followed me around the room with her eyes. Every time I told her I loved her, she would wink her eye real big, and she would start crying down the side of her face. And I'd wipe her tears, and the nurse came in, and now mind you, she's still on the COVID ward, but when I went in, didn't have to wear anything but just a regular old paper mask this time. So the nurse came in, and he said her heart is getting very excited. Her heart rate is jumping. Just ask her simple yes or no questions. And of course, I was just telling her about life and everything going on, and how excited we were for her coming home and all that good stuff. And I'm talking about our friend Shirley. It's been our friend for like 30 years. So I'm just talking to her about life, and I'm like, I'm not going to talk to her like a child. You know, I'm not going to ask her yes and no questions. And what the heck is that? You don't think she's still excited? Well, what I figured out was, because I stood and just held her hand for a little bit, I think just me being there, she was so excited. And that's what was, because I wasn't even talking, and her heart rate went crazy. And I told her, I said, Miss Shirley, and she was 61. I said, when she passed away, I said, I'm going to go because I just don't want anything to happen, risking reaching dangerous levels or anything. And they had her on a big machine cleaning her blood out too, since she couldn't go in for like her regular dialysis. But her left arm was as big as my thigh. and her little legs couldn't have been no bigger than my arm. And I mean, I got skinny little wrists. They're tiny. And she was so sad. Tears just started pouring. And because I was probably in there a good, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. And so I kissed her and told her I loved her, hugged her as best I could with all that stuff on her, and left. And the doctor said that her kidney, everything was shutting down a couple days later. And we were supposed to go see her Sunday. A group of us ladies, we meet, we have our bingo, but we're all friends too. We meet for bingo once a month here. And we were going to go see her Sunday afternoon. They were going to take the vent off at 5, and said once they took the vent off, they didn't think that she would last more than a little bit, a day or two, maybe. And but she passed away Saturday evening about 5:30. And so we're going to her funeral tomorrow. And I believe this, and I've said this before, even through all these lockdowns and stuff like this. And God says when our days are numbered. So whether it's COVID or a murder or bus hitting us or traffic accident or heart attack at home, whatever, God says when our time is up. That's it. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I know that true in my heart. And the other thing is, her husband had died about 7 years ago, and he was absolutely her life, which would be me if Log Home Dad passed away. I don't know how much longer I could last if he goes first. And I just know how excited she didn't fear death at all, because she knew that she would get to see, sooner she died, sooner she'd get to go see her husband. And she loved that man. Part of her died when he died. So, at the end of the day, nobody can tell us when our time is up. I guess the only thing I have is, I wish God would have taken her when she had the first stroke, but a lot of us got to say goodbye to her. So I guess that's good too. I just hated seeing her in that state at the end there. I just, I know it had to have been miserable for her. Bless her heart. Had to have been miserable. But when I went and visited her the first time, just a couple days after the stroke, she was great. She was sitting in a chair. She had been eating. She's watching her Discovery TV. She's doing wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We had the absolute best visit. So it's just, but the only thing I can say is, God has his reasons, but I'm assuming he gave us all time to go and say goodbye to her. And she was a precious soul. She made us laugh. I hate is only 61, but I do know that she is dancing with her honey right now. But nobody can tell us when your time is up. Oh, she was, she loved all of us, truly. Oh, bless your sweet heart, Jan. I am I'm so sorry. I know it's the hardest thing to see, and to witness, because it's just, it's hard because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And I know some people do survive being put on that vent, but I told Log Home Dad, I said, do not put me on a vent. Do not put me on a vent. If I'm going to go, I want my last days to be loving. I don't want people to that be their last sight of me. But she was so precious. She made everybody freaking laugh. She took up for good and condemned evil. I know I've told y'all about the little biddies we had here at the cabin, and I was trying to find a way to get rid of them, and they threw a little fit so that presented themselves for them not to be asked to come back anymore to our monthly gatherings. And one of them was she went to high school with her. She was not a high school friend. They were not friends in high school. And she said, this is exactly how she was in school. And and the woman tried messaging her a couple of times, and she wouldn't give her the time of day. She's like, absolutely not. You're not going to come and treat people like that and then me give you the time of day and condone that. No way. And she was just she took up for everybody. We had a situation, we need a letter of recommendation, and she wrote this, and I still have it, thank God, on my computer. She wrote the sweetest letter about us. And it's funny because she's not that much older than me, but I always, because we were real young, we met her through a job Log Home Dad had. And she was the office manager. And so she, was bossing everybody around because that was her job. And so we always called her, we were young. We were only like 20. Log Dad's probably 22. Look at Henny. And when we met her, and with her being so bossy and in such a, control position, we thought of her as almost like a mom figure. I never really asked her age, and I always called her Miss Shirley. But, I'm from the South. We use manners, too. Although some people hate it. I tell you what, I have ran across some people going, please don't call me Miss. Please don't call me darling. Please don't call me honey. My name is da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, bless your heart, honey. But I always called her Miss Shirley. Always. I just respect her. I think it's a sign of respect, and I've just respected her so much. So she literally, even though she wasn't, but like, well, y'all know I'm 29, but she wasn't, but like 9 years older than me. She just felt like a mom figure. She was just so sweet and so just and so loving. And at the end of the day, that's what we hope everybody. But she was a cut up. She was so funny. She would do funny things that would just crack us up. She's like me. Even in the midst of, tough situations, I crack jokes. Some people don't like that. But I crack jokes because I just try to, break the ice a little. And not even, we went to our new neighbor's house, and they're so nice. I love them a lot. They're from the Netherlands. And they moved in right to airplane repo guy's house, and we went and sat and had some charcuterie with them, and they broke out wine and coffee and stuff. And somehow Trump came up, and she's like, so with her sweet Netherlands accent, so what is it about this Trump, and it got a little not heated, but like, I really didn't want to go over our new neighbor's house the first time meeting them and talk about Trump. And so when I looked over at her, she was across the table from me. I said, hey, why don't you show me all the cool things you've been doing outside? And we went outside, and I put my arm around her. We walked her property, and she showed me all the good stuff and all. But I didn't want to, I'm like, this isn't the first conversation I want to have with our new neighbors. I want to, have a great conversation with them and stuff. So that's kind of me. I try to joke around or do something to kind of break the tension or the ice or something like that. Isn't Henny adorable, Melinda Sue? She's holding up okay. I'm so glad, Jan. And I think as you get older too, you understand that. I think that's the biggest thing through this COVID. People are mad. You don't care about my health. You killed my mother. Because, you're not wearing a mask. You're not getting the vaccine. You're not doing all this stuff, right? And you just want to wrap your arm around them and said, Jesus knows when their time is. But if they don't believe in God, there's no convincing them of that. And of course it could sound like a super insensitive thing too by saying that. But as sad as loss is, and as much as we will miss them here on earth, we know where they're at. And that's the greatest comfort ever. And I guess the biggest thing is we can't waste the time we have now. And I think so many of us have wasted time, and through this damn pandemic, so many families and marriages, businesses, livelihoods have been torn apart. And at the end of the day, he says when our time is up, not a vaccine, not a doctor, not a freaking president, nobody. God does. He says when our time is up. And I have to wonder, anybody that says that they're a Christian doesn't understand that, if they even truly believe. Oh, bless you, Miss Jan. I can't imagine what your mama heart's going through. People are just ridiculous, though. Like, we've got to be nicer and kinder and more loving, and we got to stop throwing people away. And we got to start appreciating them and loving them. And people are so dang mean on the internet. I swear. Y'all know a lot of my troubles on Log Home Mom. I don't get paid to do this. I just feel like God has gave me a platform.
I think I've told y'all I was at a women's conference probably about 15 years ago. And God said to me, you'll be on the stage and you'll be speaking to thousands. And it kind of gave me a chill bumps. And it's like, what the heck? Me? I mean, I have a story, of course, but I'm nobody special. And as my page started growing, I realized that this is my platform. You know, and some days I reach 10. I mean, my freaking algorithms is like nothing because of Facebook shadow banning me, which is a whole nother dang issue. I mean, I'm still here. Y'all can come to my page, but I'm most likely not going to be in your feeds. But at the end of the day, I mean, there has been days when I'm not shadow banned that I'm literally touching thousands of people. You know, and I just hope if one person can find hope in my story or struggles we're going through, or even inspiration in things we're doing, that it's all worth it. Everything we've been through. Look at that. Look at that. Speaking of trouble, there's my trouble right there. He's look on Dad. My sweet man. I held tight on him the other day when he come on. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I'm going to let y'all go because I don't want to Dad to see me crying. He's going to be like, Woman, what are you doing? Y'all make me cry. But just love everybody. But please go like my YouTube. Just go subscribe and follow. Hit the bell on my YouTube channel. I do appreciate it so much because I'm trying to find another platform where I am reaching more people since, you know, Facebook is doing this to me. And because it's awful. It's awful when I spend time and come on and I've got 2 likes, no views. Look at, there he is. Did you hear me? I'm over here crying.
You need a hug.
I need a hug.
I know Mom needs a hug.
Aww. You was listening, weren't you?
What?
Was it me tagging you that you left me? Aw. Goodness gracious. Oh, anyway. I'll put a video on of her because she was so, and it's so funny to see it because, like I said, we do our monthly gatherings. And I was just telling the ladies the other night, when we're here, we're so busy and laughing and having fun. I've only taken pictures one time. And then in December, which was Shirley's last time here, it was right before Christmas. And we still play bingo and all. It's bingo and then there's Cincy prizes. But really, we're all just getting together. I always cook for them. I always do dinner, dessert. Like I said, prizes. We just have a great time. And sometimes I do themed nights, like I do Gringo Bingo and Flamingo Bingo and all this stuff. But our Christmas party, what we do, and I always have gifts like, you know, at Christmas and stuff for everybody. We play games, all that stuff. And at Christmas, everybody brought a dish to share. We had Christmas music. Everybody brings gifts for each other, even if it's something tiny. And Shirley brought gifts for everyone, even a couple of new ladies that had never been before. But one of our ladies brought bingo blotters for everyone, typically because we only play 6 games and it's just a little card. And typically they take a highlighter and do their numbers. Well, one of the ladies gave everybody, well, 2 of the ladies actually. One thought she was being really slick and she had them in a bag waiting, and the other one comes and she plops them down on the table, and the other lady's like, oh man, you just stole my thunder. But now they have bingo blotters. So for some reason, Shirley picked up one of the bingo blotters and started singing in it. And it was so dang funny. And I was laughing so hard I couldn't catch my breath. And I finally said, now, Shirley, can you tell me about this again? And she started all over again, but I had my phone set up and was videotaping her. And it was just the way she was. She's so hilarious. I've never done that before. We've been doing this for like 3.5 years. I've never done that before. And it was just so precious. And now it's a memory for everybody. Because who thinks to do things like that? You know, we don't. We take pictures of the kids and we take pictures of them. We don't take pictures with them. We don't take pictures with each other. You know, we forget about those things when we're in the midst. So that's another suggestion I can have for everybody is make sure if you're together, take pictures. You know, because sometimes that's all you got left. Take pictures and videos. So, all right, y'all. Well, I love you. Hopefully we'll be on and showing the babies in their little new thing. Log Home Dad's going to build a run off of it too in their coop. He's going to build a run, and that way we can have it if someone gets sick or we get new chicks or whatever, so we can have it. Chickens keeping in your house is not the greatest of ideas. I think they are 11 weeks old this weekend, so they're ready to be out, and I will put them in here. They've got about another week and a half, and they'll get to come in. You want to quarantine them for 30 days, and they'll come in here with the babies. We'll see how they do. Hopefully everybody does really well. So we'll be in here with them. And I'm thinking with 4 of them and then 6 of these ladies, I'm hoping everybody takes like a little surrogate and loves them, takes them under their wing. All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing evening, and I hope you hugs to you, Miss Jan, hugs to you, darling. I hope y'all have a great time this weekend and make some wonderful memories. Love y'all. Bye.